Welcome. Today I'm going to share a really simple way for you to work with crystal singing bowls, angel cards, oracle cards, and crystals. I have been working with angels and guides for over 20 years. I was initiated into this healing modality in a village in Ireland a long time ago. In Ireland, we have an angel healer, at least in every village. It's very common to be a healer and to work with angels. So that is my true nature and my true authentic lineage. This set of angelic healing cards is a very old set. It's over 20 years old, so it's considered a collector's item. I'll put links to these sets in the notes. This is one I've been working with for over 20 years. I'm in my mid-40s now, and I started working with angels in my late teens. This one is a newer oracle deck and wouldn't be considered necessarily traditional angelic, which is my background, but I find this one is a great one to work with for healing. I'll also put a link underneath in the notes for this one. You might think, well, why would I want to work with angels and guides? Why would I choose to work with crystal singing bowls and crystals? Some of us are drawn to that way of existing. You'll often hear these sorts of people being called star seed people. I am definitely a star seed. A star seed refers to someone who's living on Earth but feels very connected to the stars. Maybe if you're a star seed, you find humanity a little hard to deal with. You can be very sensitive. You might be a very gentle person. You could often seek out meditation, healing, safe places because you find life can be quite overwhelming. That is exactly my type of personality. When I was younger, I suffered from very extreme anxiety. I tried many different therapies to help me with this anxiety. And at the time, I was offered a lot of medication to help me deal with anxiety, which I didn't find helpful. So for me, when I found a local healer in the village in Ireland, because I am Irish, and that's where I was living at the time, even though I'm based in London now, and that healer introduced me to angels, guides, crystals, and sound healing, I felt so relieved because this is a healing modality that has no addiction attachments, such as pharmaceuticals, Valium, for example, alcohol, wine, which in my world at the time in Ireland, there was a lot of that being offered to me. Unfortunately, that's very attached to Irish culture, but I found it didn't help, it made me worse. So instead, I turned to sound healing, meditation, crystal healing, angelic healing, and the star seed connections. That was a very long time ago, and I used to try and explain it to my friends at the time, and people weren't doing it. So I was a little bit ahead of the curve and always felt a little bit misunderstood. Whereas now people are turning to sound healing all the time and it's become very fashionable, very popular and on trend. Finally, the world's catching up on how healing this is. So I have two beautiful bowls here. You can purchase these from me on my website, Crystal Planets. This is an advanced selenite D bowl in pink or gold. Selenite we associate with angels, clearing away negative energy, deep protection and healing. And this one here is the 7-inch F Great Salt, Lake Salt, Aqua Aura Gold. I find this one is beautiful. Again, this is associated with clearing negative energy, healing. The salt is grounding, earthing, beautiful aura, gold, iridescent aura energy, and they combine in a harmony. So let's have a listen to that. If you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, I recommend that you gently chime your bowls and begin to become the listener. Focus your awareness and attention upon the sound you hear. As if nothing else matters. In time, you will begin to let go of busy thoughts of the past and gently release from busy thoughts of the future. Beginning to feel like nothing matters anymore except this moment, the vibration of the crystal singing bowls that are holding you here and now. feel safe, knowing that you choose to be here now, safe to let go of the things you do not need. Close your eyes and allow the pink aura selenite energy to wash over you. Pink light brings the healing energy of Archangel Raphael. Now allow gentle greens and golds to settle over your energy. As you inhale, you are taking in deep healing. As you exhale, you are letting go of the things you do not need. As I call upon the angels and I call upon the guides. Protection, safety, love and light. As you begin to work with crystals, you might notice that they bring with them their own healing energy. So over here I have a rose quartz gemstone crystal. Rose quartz is associated with deep love and self-love. And when it's a point upwards, we're holding energy from below the earth, the grounding, and we're raising and amplifying energy above. Energy to the stars, to the universe. Over here I have a quartz crystal. Now we know that crystal singing bowls are comprised of quartz crystal. If they're alchemy bowls, they then have additional gemstones blended within. And quartz is a great one to have nearby, but helps to amplify and grow energy. If you're holding the quartz or looking into its prisms, again the point upwards is raising energy up. And I'll place that near the bowls. Crystals are quite ephemeral a feeling, which means that it's hard to explain why they feel so healing. We know that they are natural objects, so it's like bringing a tree from the outside into your home. Having a crystal is having something from nature close by you. We know, science teaches us, that crystals hold a vibration. So we know that pure white quartz crystal holds energy and can also amplify other energies. So if the quartz amplifies and it's with a rose quartz, then the suggestion is that the quartz can amplify love energy. The quartz can amplify the selenite energy, which is angelic healing and clearing away things we do not need. And it can also amplify the earth energy within a salt bowl, so amplify the energies of the salts, which means that it just creates a slightly stronger energy. It's a gentle vibrational hug. So if you're noticing your own energy is low, maybe you're feeling anxious, worried, depressed, we can work gently with crystal amplification to raise our own vibration. And what's also interesting is that we ourselves are made of crystalline. So I'm touching on my sternum where I have bone, crystalline in structure, and bone is piezoelectric, which means it can respond to crystal. So that's a lot of practical science, but also, I'll be honest, I work with things you cannot see. I'm a meditation teacher. I work with angels and guides. You cannot see those. I choose to work in that way because it's what I find deeply healing. When I meditate with crystal singing bowls, when I drift off after listening to the frequency and drones of these bowls, I do feel like my physical body becomes heavy and relaxed, and my soul body does connect with angelic healing. I truly experience that. So I'm only sharing the things I experienced and have experienced in the last 20 years. When I was young and very, very low with anxiety, and I came to this world and I listened to these bowls and worked with the angelic healing, I really did feel feel like I was meeting angels. And it was almost like I fell asleep. I was lying down listening, fell asleep, and angels came to me. And that is what brought me comfort. Now, other people, if they're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, they might turn, like I said, to tablets, to medication, and that works for them. But we know that it does have its downfall. What I would also say is, if you are struggling with mental health, remember to seek therapy as well. I did also go to therapy at the time. I did mix psychology, a therapist, with my holistic healing. I mixed them both. So if you're very low, remember seeking out therapy is important as well. Talking to friends, talking to family, and reaching out for help. And also please remember that you're not alone. It's normal, it's common. We all go through periods of depression, anxiety, or stress, especially in this day and age. So now I'll talk a little bit about the cards and how I work with them. What I tend to do is I come to my bowls, I'll play them a little bit, settle into the frequency. I'll have the crystals around me. I might work with palm stone crystals as well. And then I'll take out the cards and shuffle them. And as I do so, I call upon the angels and guides, and I believe they are around me, and I thank them for coming. And the reason I believe they are around me is because whenever I think about something to ask them, I feel like I get relevant answers in the cards as messages, and I feel like they must be here. So for example, I'm shuffling them now. And if I was having to work as an artist and have done all my life, meditation teacher, and like I said, 20 years ago, singing bowls were not that popular, so I was sort of on my own in a world that I loved, but there wasn't much for me out there yet to work within. So I felt very lost. I'm always worrying about money. I've been working full time in this world of guided voice art and yoga as well. I love yoga. So that wasn't paying very much. Now I have a big showroom in Notting Hill where people can come and educate with me in sound healing. So everything is improving, and I sell the crystal singing bowls. Year by year it gets a little bit easier, but by nature I'm a worrier. I will worry about money, things like where will I live, and so on. So sometimes when I put out the cards and I have that particular worry, I'll pick a card, and it's the prosperity card or the do not worry card. And then I know my angels are listening. I feel very comforted with that, and it helps me feel much better and relieved. So here's one I often get. This one is Clairvoyance, Angel Raziel. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So I'll bring that closer to you, and you can see the angel image to the back. So let's pick two more from this deck, and then I'll show you the newer deck. Next one I have chosen, Victory. So this is a good one to get when I'm worrying about money or work. Victory, Archangel Sandalphon, your prayers have been heard and answered, have faith. So here we go. Now I know that I have a sound healer training tomorrow, and perhaps I was worried that it wouldn't fill up a few weeks ago, and if I had read this card then, it would have brought me some comfort. Next card, Spiritual Understanding. So this is a beautiful one. You can see it has sacred geometry within the card. Archangel Raziel, so he's come up twice for me. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. So I often work with sacred geometry in that I have a crystal singing pyramid design that I work with, and the Merkaba star is sacred geometry within sound healing. When I share guided voice meditations, I often add sacred geometry within the meditations during a sound bath. So that for me is quite an inspiring card to get. So that's my old deck that I've had 20 years now. Let's have a look at how to work with the newer age deck. This is by an artist called Danielle Noel, spiritual artist. I love her art. As an artist myself, I adore her. She's so inspiring. I feel like her art is truly connected to angels and guides and universal energy. She uses a lot of pyramids within her artwork on her oracle cards. I find pyramids are very relevant in sound healing, and if you join one of my sound baths, I might often share mystic stories about the pyramids. So I just got one called The Seven Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life and Expression. A lot of people don't know about the Seven Sisters of the Pleiades. This is a story I share sometimes during sound baths. I love adding mystic stories to sound baths because it's good for the nervous system to have storytelling, good for my students to just listen and drift off to a story. There is a wonderful story about the Seven Star Sisters within mysticism, and they are the sisters of the stars. If you're a star seed, this is what you'll be connected to: star stories, connection to the universe, and anything that can bring you to the star world. I truly believe that I came from a star. There's science behind this. We are all made of stardust. So we can connect back to stars in this life, in our day-to-day existence. If we close our eyes, we listen to the crystal singing bowls that are connected to stars, if we're surrounded by crystals connected to stars, and we think of the stories of the seven sisters of the Pleiades. These are believed to be some of the original goddesses who created sound healing and brought it down to us on Earth. They are our protective sisters, they are our healers, and the mothers of Earth. If we meditate with them and call them in, we could have incredible dreamlike sonic sound baths, go to places and see things we never thought we'd see. So this is a wonderful card for me to get. It's very inspiring. Let's pull another. Okay, baby steps. This is an interesting one. Action, follow your intention before it makes sense. Baby steps is a card, I believe, if you pull it, it's asking you to go towards your dreams, but don't expect them to happen instantly, and don't be afraid to take just slow steps to them. I often find when I'm teaching students and they come to a sound healer training, some of them think immediately they're going to be famous sound healers the next day, and that just happens magically. And as we know, you need to take the baby steps to grow into a bigger sound healer position. So I'm always encouraging them to be patient with themselves and just go step by step and grow. And that's, to me, an example of what that card might mean. Let's pull one more card. This is called Star Keeper. Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. Now, for me, I feel that's relevant because, as I mentioned, I'm quite starseed in personality, which means when I meditate, I go very high into the cosmos. I could meditate and drift off to the stars. I see things. I'm very intuitive. I'm a little bit psychic, and it makes being on Earth quite hard. I sometimes meet people and I know what they're thinking about me. So if I meet someone and they don't like me, I instantly know, because I have that intuitive psychic energy ability. And it's not always a good thing, because you don't really want to know if someone doesn't like you. And then it makes it hard to be around people and to exist on Earth, especially because I'm a little bit detached. I'm always in the cosmos. I'm not always actually here on Earth, if that makes sense. So a Star Keeper card is saying stay grounded. It's trying to encourage me to work with that grounding energy. The things I find grounding is going out into nature, going for walks. Being present is very grounding. So mindfulness is something I personally need to work with to help ground my own energy. Because, as mentioned, I find it very easy to exist outside of the here and now. If that's something you're curious about, you can just attend one of my sound baths and you'll see how I work a lot with the cosmos, with star energy, with Goddess Hathor, with Egyptian mysticism, and it's all things you cannot see, all things outside of this realm of reality. And that's my style of sound bath. But existing on this planet can be tricky for me. It makes sense I got that card. I hope this has inspired you to work with your crystal singing bowls, your angels and guides, and call them in, and they'll talk to you through your cards and give you messages to help you through your day or your week. If you're seeking out crystal singing bowls, you can check out my website, crystalplanets.com. If you are seeking education, check out my online platform. Wherever you are in the world, you can study with me, soundhealercollege.com, or come visit me at my studio in Notting Hill, London, where you can choose your own singing bowls or educate with me in person.